those lines, here are some special considerations for each class. As a priest, until you're level 40 when you can dual spec, lean more toward the shadow spec for questing purposes. You can easily get away with healing dungeons up to level 40 in shadow spec, and it doesn't require a second set of gear. If you're a paladin, I would personally recommend setting your paladin up to be able to tank and heal. This will do several things. It will get you faster Qs. It will give you an idea of what a tank goes through, so when you're tank healing, you'll be more effective. And 3, healing as a paladin in a low-level dungeon can be very tedious and boring. Having both sets of gear is worth it. Not to be completely bored while leveling, and, again, it's incredibly instructive to experience tanking as a healer. I spec'd into protection talents and had no problems healing dungeons until level 40 when I could dual spec. With the druid, as with the priest up to level 40, I placed my talents in balance for questing purposes and queued as a healer. Again, just like with the priest, I had no problems healing low-level dungeons, all while not requiring 2 sets of gear. The same is similar for the shaman. Again, with your spell power heirlooms, go elemental, queue restoration, just like the druid and priest. Your third objective for leveling your new healer is to reach level 20 and obtain your first regular ground mount. Humans can go to Eastvale Logging Camp in Elwyn Forest and see Ranel Hunter to train. Night Elves can go to the Cineron Enclave in Darnassus, see Jardsum to train. Dwarves can go to Mecco Strider's Steel Grills Depot east of Kronos in Dunmore and see Benji. Draenei can go to the Exodar in the front entrance and see Alun to train. Druids, you can see any class trainer to train for your travel form. Finally, on every 5th level as you're leveling 1 to 39, I visited my trainer, or when I knew a very helpful ability was going to become available. Also on every 5th level, I reviewed my gear and checked my local auction house to see if cheap upgrades were available, or if there was just a piece of gear that was entirely out-leveled. Once you reach level 40, go ahead and obtain your fast ground mount in training, and then dual spec if possible. You'll find it extremely helpful to dual spec at level 40. At this point, you can actually commit your talents to a healing tree in your respective class. While it is very possible to continue questing in a healing spec, the DPS spec will make your leveling much quicker, successful, and enjoyable, all while you queue in as a healer into the Dungeon Finder. Don't worry if the finances aren't there for a dual spec. Just make sure you save up the 60 gold it will cost you for your fast ground mount, and thank your personal god that it's not 500 gold at level 60 like it used to be. The dual spec is really recommended for people who want to level healing alts quickly. If this is your first character, leveling from 40 in your healing spec is completely acceptable, and you should enjoy your leveling. Speed is not your goal at this point. Finally, at level 58, move to the Outlands for dungeons and quests. At level 60, get your flying mount. At level 68, go ahead and move to Northrend for dungeons and quests, keeping in mind your flying mount won't work in Northrend till level 77, when it will cost you a cool 1,000 gold to get cold weather flying. So hanging out in Outlands until level 70 might suit you better, albeit the experience and the gear is going to be far superior to anything you do in Outlands at level 68. Plus that it's a nice change of scenery. Finally, at level 77, go ahead and get your cold weather flying training. This will enable you to use your fast flying in the Outlands. From level 40, things start to become a lot more enjoyable. Simply rinse and repeat the process I've outlined above for levels 1 through 39, for levels 40 through 80. The critical thing, especially if you aspire to be a raid healer, is that you get experience healing groups in dungeons.